What's going on? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live on this special hump day. Happy hump evening. Happy hump evening. How many times have you heard that before? Not many. Not many. People talk about hump day, but not often the hump evening. And boy, oh boy, are we doing the hump tonight. Dogecoin absolutely showing absolute Doge momentum like we haven't seen in quite some time. It's great to see those of us that are enthusiasts of the dog money. And we are going to have a fun market watch tonight. We're going to get down to it, and we've got a couple other stories to cover, but this is mostly going to be a fun hangout market watch, and we are going to do it to it, boppers. We're going to do it to it. Before we get started, if I could just ask you to smash that like button. I want you to smash that like button like you'd smash your first childhood celebrity crush. Folks, it's the number one thing you can do to help out this channel, ascend through those tricky YouTube algorithms so we can get... reach more people. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to personally welcome you. You're watching Steele Live. I'm, of course, Steele. It's awesome to have you with us. And we've got an exceptional community here and our little sliver of the internets, and I want you to be a part of it. So be sure to hit subscribe, hit all on that notification bell, and ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Without any further ado, let's see who's active so far in the chat tonight. We've got Emperor Doge. We got the Hump Deezy. We got Keith Havens, me, you. Marie Potter, good to see you, Marie. RW, Zombie Doge Army. Doge Pilot, good to see you, Doge Pilot. Hector the Dude, Keith Havens. Chica Doge, haven't seen you in a minute, good to see you back in the mix. The Zombie Doge Army, of course, is pumped up and ready to go. Brad, haven't seen you in a minute, that's good to see you, my friend. And I think Leo, what's going on, Leo? And Maxwell. Says Real Deal in the house. It's me, folks. It's me. It's great to have you with us tonight. Northwoods Peachtree, haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you in the mix. Marcus C, welcome aboard. And I think I got everyone that's out. Nate Doge, rather. I like that. Nate Doge, bringing it back to the G-Funk era. G-Funk, step to this. I dare ya. It's funk on a whole new level because the rhythm is the bass and the bass is the treble. And folks, we've got green weenies lined up all night. We got green weenies lined up as far as the eye can see. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling out of sight because the Doge is ascending. And how much is it ascending, you may ask? Well, we've got Dogecoin up almost 13%. 13% just over the last 24 hours and ascending over 2% just over the last 45 minutes. And we're going to continue to keep an eye on it. Will we see 14 cents tonight while we're streaming live? I certainly think it's within the realm of probability. Who knows? Maybe we'll even reach 15 cents before the stream is through. Keith Havens says Steven Steele is a vampire. Of sorts, my friend. Crypto vamps is what we call them around here. Miyu says, hey, finally an early show, missed everyone. Yeah, I've been going on absurdly late lately, so this is actually early for me as of late. Ember Doge, let's ride, has some comments there about yeah, lots going on, right? A lot going on in the Doge community lately. A lot of very spirited debates. A lot of information coming out, things of this nature, and you know, what can we do? All I can tell you guys is I'm my own man. You know, I do my own thing. I don't really fall into one category in this scene or another. You know how I roll. We got our own thing. We do our own thing here. And, that's about all I'm going to say about that. Like we said, save the drama for your llama. We are doing it to it. We've got the Doge momentum with us, and we are feeling good. You know what? Not every time that I click this live button do I feel supernaturally enthused, right? Not every time that I click this live button do I feel supernaturally cheery and happy. There's an old quote that goes, I'm trying to think of the author that said it, but he says, if you are not enthusiastic, wax yourself enthusiastic and soon you will be so, right? So once you start putting yourself in a positive mindset, and sometimes you have to be very deliberate about it, in an enthusiastic mindset, then soon you will actually find yourself being enthusiastic, and it is infectious. And we spread and we radiate that positive energy to other people, and it just has a magnificent effect. And that's what building a positive and effective community is all about, isn't it, folks? If you feel compelled to super chat anywhere throughout the duration of this broadcast, of course, feel free to do so. It certainly helps for all the time and efforts put in. And I forgot, you guys know Donna Tabuki. I forgot, because she, I promised her, because she runs such a busy schedule, that I text her every time I go live. So I just remembered I forgot to do that. And so I'm just saying I'm live. So there we go. And I imagine we'll probably see Donna Tabuki in the mix. Before not too long. Alan Schneider, speaking of in the mix, welcome. Ramon, it's Ramon up in here tonight. Good to see you, Ramon. Haven't seen you in a minute. Ryan McClymonds, it's like we're getting the old band back together. Great to see you guys. Mr. Particle, also in the mix. Guys, we are doing it to it. Doge is on the move. We got a lot to be excited about, don't we? And we see all this drama on Twitter. And look, I want to be very clear. I'm not saying people's grievances aren't justified or warranted. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But it's also important that we don't let those tensions and that negativity kind of that we don't spend too much time on it. That it doesn't totally consume us. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So, and what's also inspiring too is Dogecoin is worldwide at this point, and it's far extends the corners of the outside of the corners of the Twitterverse as well. I mean, there's people on Twitter and tons of investors that are off Twitter and just all over the world. And that's what's so great about having a big tent community like Dogecoin. It brings in so many different kinds of people from so many different kinds of walks of life, and all coming together and rallying around something that started as it's basically an unintentional success, right? It's this happy accident we've all found ourselves rallying towards. So, Carlos in the mix as well. Good to see you, Carlos. So, let's take a look at what the charts are doing right now, guys. Dogecoin, the volume is high. As we're kind of meeting a lot of resistance towards the 1360 level, 1370 level. And also, huge news, and I'm going to talk about this for a bit now, but I'm also going to talk about it more extensively tomorrow night's show. Yes, there's going to be a tomorrow night show. But Voyager, one of the most popular cryptocurrency trading apps in America, anyway, just announced today that Dogecoin wallets are now out. Dogecoin wallets are finally live on Voyager, and this is a huge victory. This is massive. Doge. Voyager has easily over 3 million in their user base now, and it's expected to pass 4 million within this year. So that is a lot. That's a lot of people, and those are a lot of Dogecoin holders on Voyager. I am one of them, for some of my Doge anyway. And this is really, really exciting news, because this is something I have been personally campaigning for Voyager to do for quite some time, and I've been trying to rally it, right? I keep trying to rally it, and I know some of you guys in this audience have been trying to do the same, so this is great news. I mean, first, Voyager delivers on dark mode. Dark mode's very important. Dark mode's like a value to me. It's like an important value call to me. It's hard for me to really be super involved on a regular basis in an application unless it's got dark mode. Isn't that right? Remy agrees. Of course, Remy is the co-hostess with the mostest here tonight, and she's fired up. The real life Doge coming in for her cameo appearance. Look how fired up she is, guys. She is excited about the ascension of the dog money. Are you excited, Remy? Yes, she is excited. Are you excited? She is stoked, you guys. She is stoked. So, let's see. But again, Dogecoin now up about 12% over the last 24 hours. Right now, we are coasting at about 1.5% over the last hour. Right now, temporarily stalling out at about 13.6, and we're going to see if we can get enough momentum to breach through that resistance point that we are seeing here. And let's see if we can rally the dog money up on through 14 cents. And folks, if you've got any questions or comments, feel free to put them in super chat, feel free to put them in regular chat, and I will do my best to read them and answer them. Let's see here. Leo says, Steven Steele, are you going to the big Bitcoin convention in Miami? in April by chance, the thoughts cross my mind. I think it'd be a lot of fun, but I'm undecided on that at this point. I'm undecided on that, but I think it'd be a lot of fun. There's a lot of characters there. You can't think of the Bitcoin convention now without thinking of Doge Boy. Speaking of which, we got to get Doge Boy back in the mix. I haven't had him on the show in forever, but I've had him on twice. And one time we had a very super in-depth 2-hour interview. If you look it up on YouTube, honestly, I think it's the best interview done with the kid. If you just do Steven Steele Doge Boy, it'll pop up. And I ask him in detail all about his experience of crashing the Bitcoin convention and what he went through, what he prepped for, what he was going through his mind, what was the experience afterwards, how did he get away, etc., etc. Fascinating interview. Highly recommend looking that up. Is Dogecoin going to $1? Somebody asked. Dogecoin, is it going to $1? Do elephants have tusks, my friend? For me, it's not a matter of if Dogecoin is going to $1, but when. When is the big question if Dogecoin is going to $1? I'm not going to sit here and moonboy and say it's going to happen even this year. I don't know, but I feel very, very certain that Dogecoin is not only going to make it to $1, but ascend beyond that easily with given enough time. Xavier Arrow in the mix. Hey, Steven. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good evening. Cheers from Quebec. Cheers right back to you, my friend, and thank you for tuning in from Quebec. Appreciate you. Carlos checking in from Miami. And where are the rest of the good people in the chat tonight from? Time for a little geographic roll call. Guys, the volume is high. The buys and sells are coming in a mile a minute. As far as I can see right now, they're kind of canceling each other out, but we will see where it leads in the moments to come. Let's see. RW says Doge to $1, definite. Way past that. I'll be sitting fat when Doge hits $1, says Ryan McClimans. A lot of people will, and I wish the best for everyone. On that. I do think it's going to happen, guys. Not a matter of if, just a matter of when. Ryan coming in from North Carolina. Leo, New Jersey. Nathaniel Smith, good to see you, Nathaniel. Clocking in from Canada. Esteban, good to see you, Esteban. RW coming in from Maine. Maine, beautiful state, by the way. Trucking all day. California paying them high gas prices. Trucking all day. Holy cannoli. Boy, those gas prices out there right now. I mean, they're bad enough here in the Midwest. So, especially when you're driving truck, my goodness. That's got to be eating into your margins something fierce. Hopefully we'll eventually get a grasp and get these gas prices back down. Banks Done celebrating 10 months of membership support. Thank you so much, Banks Done. Appreciate you. Still Florida for now. And thank you for continued support. Banks Done, haven't seen you in a few episodes. Great to see you back in the mix. I keep track of these things. I know about how long each member's been gone and when you come back in the mix. Yes. By the way, if you care to sign up, be a member, it only costs, starting level is just $4 a month. Just another way to extend support for the show. And plus you get those neat badges and emojis and all that kind of stuff. So thank you so much. Thank you for the continued support, Banks Done. One True Adam, good to see you in the mix. Rhode Island, another beautiful little state there. I like it there. Steven says, I had to come back to your channel, Steven. I missed the amazing beard. Well, you must have a very generous definition of amazing. But I'll take it. Thank you, Esteban. Appreciate it. Hunter Wayne also in the mix. What up, Steele? What up? Back to you, my friend. Guys, if you're just tuning in, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm your man, Real Deal, Steven Steele, coming to you live, and we are excited. This is about the most momentum, market value-wise, we've seen in the dog money in a bit for sure. And we're just kind of coasting out, feeling it out, navigating these waters, and just watching those red and green weenies, hoping for the best and keeping the good vibes flowing. If you haven't already smashed that like button, I want you to take 1 second to do that. If you haven't already, thank you in advance. It really does help out with those algorithms. I got a couple stories that I want to talk to you guys about tonight. And don't worry, we are going to keep a close eye on the charts. A little bit of good news for the Dogecoin holders, just a little nice story here. Dogecoin now accepted by major Manhattan dental firm. Manhattan dental firm. Are they just called Manhattan Dental Firm? That would be a really like lame generic name. No, it's called Upper East Dental Innovations, which is a high-end dental clinic located in Manhattan, New York. Now accepts Dogecoin. And it claims to be the first dental office to open its doors to cryptocurrency in the heart of the Big Apple. Dr. Harvey, the dentist who owns Upper Dental Innovations and leads his team of doctors, claims that she's a huge proponent of modern technologies, and she sees Dogecoin as the next stage in the evolution of money, claiming that it is cheaper, faster, and more efficient than fiat currencies. Wow, big, bold moves. And a round of applause for Dr. Harvey up there in Manhattan, making it happen in Manhattan. I haven't been to New York in quite some time. Of course, the pandemic, it's been probably one of the main obstacles and reasons why I haven't been there in some time. But I've had some good times in New York. I wouldn't say great times, just because I'm a bit claustrophobic. And, well, that's not the best city to be rolling around in if you're a bit claustrophobic. It's a pretty crowded place, but it's definitely happening. It's definitely happening. I remember one time, those of you who are familiar with the 5 boroughs and such in the New York area, I used to hang out at this. At the time, it was a very remote kind of industrial wasteland kind of neighborhood called Red Hook. And I remember one time on the top of a rooftop bar in Red Hook, watching like this psychedelic cowboy band, and it was like, it was pretty surreal, and we were having really good pizza while watching it. It was a good time. Anyway, next story here. But before we go to the next story, let's check in with the chat. Let's see what's going on with you guys. We're doing a very interactive live chat correspondence tonight, even more so than usual. Stephen, is your Twitter verified? It is not yet. I'm not that big time, guys. Though. I think one of the prerequisites to getting verified is at least having a couple of news articles that you can reference that were specifically written about you. And I think I got that now. I just haven't bothered to really do it yet. But I think I probably should at least try to get verified because of so many fake Steven Steele profiles that keep popping up, and I keep spamming people with DMs trying to swindle them and stuff. So yeah. The Naked Cowboy, my friend. So the Naked Cowboy, no, I'm not talking about that guy, but that guy's pretty hilarious. I got to give it up for that guy. That guy's been going for like at least a couple decades out there working it in his undies in the cold, titillating weather of New York City. Obviously, guy stays fit, makes a really good living out of it, has become kind of a tourist landmark of that city. But yeah, I got to give it up for that guy. He hustles, man. He hustles. Will you be Steven 100%? A Doge Extra asks, will you be Steven 100%? Yes, I can promise you that I will be Steven 100%. I don't know how else to answer that. Doge is the only toothful currency. But you know what, RW? You keep that up, they're going to send you to the penitentiary, my friend. Guys, we are moving. We are grooving. But I got to say, we are a bit stalled out right now at 13.6. Nevertheless, today is a victorious day for Dogecoin holders, as we are still up over 11% in the last 24 hours. The most bullish day we've seen in quite some time. Now, those of you who watched last night's show know that I touched on the possibility of a breakout up to the tune of perhaps 30%. And we were discussing that, in which I said I wouldn't be surprised. And I said it's certainly something to be left on the table, And so here we are, and we are doing it to it. Yeah, so where is Dogecoin going from here? That remains to be seen. There's one tough reality, right? That is, what do you think, Remy? What do you think? Yeah, Remy agrees. We are still, unfortunately, in a Bitcoin dominant market. Isn't that right, Remy? She totally agrees. And consequentially, Dogecoin is still subject to the whims of Bitcoin to some degree. Now, the kind of movement that we're seeing right now is very exciting because we have Dogecoin moving very strongly and independently from both Bitcoin and Ethereum to degrees that we haven't seen in quite some time. To what do we attribute this movement? To what do we attribute this movement? Well, it's hard to say. It's hard to attribute it to any one factor. She is so spoiled for attention. She gets so jelly. Okay, ready. Come on. Calm down. Take a seat. Good girl. Okay, be a good co-host. Be a good co-host. All right? Just, chill. You got this. All right, so where were we? Where were we? Rock Lobster coming through big time, bringing that big thunder Doge energy with a super chat to the size that I haven't seen in quite some time around these parts in these bearish times. Thank you so much, Rock Lobster. Rock Lobster, a.k.a. Jesse Hughes, coming in with $50 to make you holler. Hey, Steele fam, wanted to say, hey, thank you all for your prayers. My girl Tuesday woke up from a 2-month coma. Long recovery ahead, but great news. Hope you're all well. That is such fantastic and wow, epic, and what an epic relief. That is fantastic news, Rock Lobster. Thank you for coming in. Firstly, thank you for your generous super chat. Thank you for literally helping to keep the lights on over here at Steele HQ. And that is awesome because as those of you who watch this so frequently recall that Rock Lobster had his girl had gone into a coma and was hospitalized, and we had a moment of silence and prayer for her. And so this is great news, phenomenal news. So relieved and happy to hear that. A round of applause for you and your girl Rock Lobster, aka Jesse. We love the Rock Lobster. We love Jesse Hughes here at Steven Steele Live, and great to have you back in the mix. Always great to have Rock Lobster in the mix. Everyone loves the Rock Lobster in these parts. And if you're new here and you're wondering, what are you talking about? You're talking about lobsters, you're talking about zombie armies, etc. Well, these are just kind of the colorful characters that we have here in this community, and we want you to be a part of it because we've got an awesome, positive, engaging, friendly community. There are a lot of you guys there's been a lot of cool friendships that have been formed through this channel, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you're lurking there in the background, feel free to speak up. Feel free to, start typing in the chat. Everyone here is really welcoming and groovy. So, if lurking's your deal too, that's cool too. But just letting you know. Big Buck, good to see you, Big Buck. Haven't seen you in a minute. Let's see. Why is Doge up 10%? Harris Jewel. Harris asks. Good question. I don't really know how to pinpoint or what to attribute this most recent rise to. What we do know is this. We went over a lot of the charting over the last couple shows, and more specifically last night. And due to the basic algorithms and the Fibonacci retracement levels that I had been looking over and that I was sharing with you guys and touching on you guys last night, it seemed that a breakout upwards all the way up to a 30% breakout seemed fairly probable. And I said that this would have a pretty fair chance of happening within the week. I didn't expect it to be the very next day. Now what's very interesting is this may not be the end of the rally here, folks. This may not be the end of the rally here. Specifically, not only as it relates to Dogecoin, but Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's not doing too shabby by any means. Bitcoin now trading at about 42,700. That puts Bitcoin up about 4% for the week, which is pretty significant movement when you consider that Bitcoin's market cap is to the tune of over $800 billion. Ethereum finally showing some more signs of life. Finally making its way a bit over 3,000 right now. Let's see, and up about 2.5% for the last 24 hours, and up a whopping 9% over the last week. So you're definitely noticing a C shift going on. So could we see more bullish times ahead of us? I think it's certainly possible, and we've discussed this many times before, where I felt one of the main reasons why I felt this was possible, despite the economic conditions, despite the inflation levels, was because two factors. I think once people get used to the normalized high inflation, people recalibrate, and then they start thinking about alternative ways to invest and get more bang for their buck. So then they start reflecting in ways they can get more creative to make what they feel to be our smarter and more beneficial investments in the face of so much inflation. So that could definitely be part of what's going on here. We don't know how it's going to play out, but President Biden's executive order as it related to crypto, on paper, it looked pretty good, frankly. Overall, with a few hesitations that I have on it. Now, that is what's on paper. What the reality looks like remains to be seen. So maybe that's have something to do with it as well. Also, spring madness is here. It is not uncommon for crypto to start picking up and doing better once spring starts coming in. So how high do I think Doge will go? Guys, like I said a couple nights ago on the show, this market is so wild and volatile, right? And it's both what frustrates and attracts people at the same time, And let me give this simple example. So Bitcoin, for example, touched about 29,000 last year, and everyone's saying that Bitcoin was dead, and mainstream media doing its thing in that regard. Well, just a little less than 2 months after Dogecoin dove down to 29,000, it ascended to its all-time high of nearly $70,000, and that's just within a 2-month time. So I tell you that because things can change very wildly, very quickly, and Dogecoin's no exception to that. As those of you who have been in this game for over a year, you recall that moment in time when Dogecoin went from trading 4 to 6 cents to about 42 cents in the course of 48 hours, seemingly out of nowhere. And I don't think that it's certainly outside of the realm of possibility for something like that to happen again, a parabolic rise like that to happen again. In fact, I think it's I think it's practically imminent, frankly. And I do think that there's going to be a fair amount of retracement once that next parabolic rise comes. But I wouldn't be surprised if once after that retracement from the next parabolic rise and the dust settles, that we are going to be in a much more favorable position, market value-wise, than Dogecoin had been previously on these sorts of rises. So, hey, things can get wild, especially when Tesla finally and completely accepts Dogecoin for its integration. That could have a super wild effect, as I've explained other times regarding that. Tesla accepting Dogecoin completely could have incredibly bullish effect, because there are a lot of huge, well-moneyed investors that use a decision like that as a decisive decision-making barometer, if you will, to invest in a cryptocurrency. So the same thing happened when Tesla first announced that they were accepting Bitcoin. Bitcoin went through the roof, and there was a lot of investors, well-money investors, who were sitting on the sidelines and kind of skeptical about Bitcoin. But then when they saw Tesla was accepting it, they all aped in big time. I think the same thing could very well happen once we get full Tesla acceptance with Dogecoin as well. Folks, if you're not already following me on Twitter, feel free to do so. I'm pretty active there, and I love staying connected with my audience on Twitter. So I'm going to put my Twitter in the chat. Just give me a moment here. I'm typing away. And I'm going to pin it at the top for you newer folks. There we go. Okay, so we just keep hitting this wall of resistance between 13.6, 13.7. I do see a lot of buy orders coming in right now, so perhaps this might be enough to break us on through. Right now, folks, just to keep in mind, to put things in perspective, you are looking at a 5-minute chart, so things are going to reflect accordingly. Right now, we've got 3 green candles in a row, but 2 thin ones here, and this one might turn into a red real soon. Why don't we zoom it out for a little bit to a 15-minute chart and see how that's looking for us. Yeah, why don't we stay on the 15 for a bit. So overall, we are seeing an ascendancy of a green candle on the 15-minute chart as Dogecoin attempts to make it past 13.7. I think that now we made it past, we're right at 13.7. This is the highest point of resistance we have seen since we've been live tonight. If we can see Dogecoin breach past 13.7 on through, I think the probability of it reaching 14 cents and beyond becomes very probable, very likely, frankly, very likely. Nate Doge says, Doge has been way oversold for too long. Big run coming in if the market stays bullish. I would agree with that. Carlos, $1 is my goal in order to start spending my profits from there, my friends. Yeah, it's a good goal to have, and don't be scared to take profits at some point. Honestly, if I had to do it again when Dogecoin briefly reached its all-time high at about 74 cents, I took 0 profits. And not that I am full of regret for that, but I wish I would have taken about 10% profits there. 10, maybe 15% profits there and left the rest long term, because whether it's Dogecoin or my other bullish positions, I'm very bullish on, personally, on Luna and AVAX and Ethereum, of course, and a few others. The majority of my portfolio are very long-term holds over the course of several years overall, with some modest profit taking. And the camera is getting bounced around like crazy because Remy is vying and begging for my attention. Be a good co-host. Remy. Okay, so tweet, Robin, tweet says, Slim Goody. And expressing some interesting thoughts there. Anyway, welcome, Slim. Good to see you. I bought Ape and Shiba Inu, says Harris. Ape, why don't we talk about Apecoin? To me, this is a very interesting, fascinating experience, right? And there's a story that I bookmarked that I wanted to cover about Apecoin. And Apecoin has been surging back pretty significantly. Just give me a moment, because I'm going to, there are my notes. Okay. And where was this Apecoin story? I thought I had an Apecoin story here. I got a Lunaterra one I want to get to while we're on the air. I don't know where the story is, but we can talk about Apecoin. So what's happening with Apecoin, it's an interesting experiment, and I did a separate video on Apecoin not too long ago. If you just do a search for Steven Steele Apecoin, you can easily find it. Now, Apecoin just surging like crazy, up 62% over the last week, up 17% over the last day. There's a lot of skepticism when Apecoin first came out, and well-deserved skepticism because it is an ERC20 token. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Apecoin is the native token to the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Yuga Labs, I think they're called. And so the problem with Ape token that concerned so many people when it launched is over 50% of the supply is in the hands of holders of Bored Ape Yacht Club. So less than 50% of Apecoin is available for public trading. And so naturally, a lot of people were wondering and assuming that it was just going to end up being a sort of rug where the Bored Ape holders would end up just dumping on the public. And they actually, in all fairness, they did. On the first 24 hours, we saw Apecoin ascend to an all-time high very quickly to the tune of, I think, 12,000% before diving nearly 80% within one day. Now we saw, after that, Apecoin slowly start to build back, hold some respectable floors, and now it's really charging back. It's really charging back. In fact, I think we're going to see $14 on Apecoin tonight. That's a 17% increase over the last 24 hours. Now, what do we attribute this to? Can Apecoin go the distance? I think it might. And I preface that with might. I'm not saying it will. But let me state the case why I think Apecoin might have the capacity and the ability to go the distance. Is because, think about it, the the native holders, the Bored Ape Yacht Club holders, what are most Bored Ape Yacht Club holders? Well, you got to be kind of baller. You got to be pretty wealthy to own a Bored Ape, right? So, that being said, I think people that are already pretty successful monetarily have a higher probability of holding a native token long term. Furthermore, the Bored Ape Yacht Club is a very coveted, esteemed club with a lot of aspirations of astounding benefits to holders and exclusivity, right? No matter what you think, if that exclusivity is worth the price of admission, it remains, that's up to you. But the point is, that is the perception of the project. That is the perception of being a Bored Ape Yacht Club holder. That, to me, the culture of being a holder also kind of lends itself to at least holding a fair chunk of their Apecoin, because if you are buying into Apecoin to a pretty significant degree, you are at the whims, right, of the Bored Ape Yacht Club holders. So in order to be an effective trader with Apecoin, you have to think and get inside the minds and the culture of the Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? So that's what I have been doing. And the more I've been studying that and thinking about that, and I own a little bit, not a lot, but I own a little bit of Apecoin just for fun. But the more I've been thinking about it, the more that I've been looking at this charting, I think that it's about a 50-50 probability that Apecoin could go the distance. And I know I might take some flack for some people for that. And I know even some folks within the Doge community would probably disagree with me. And that's fine. Furthermore, I think this is a good springboard to talk about civil disagreement. I think it's okay and healthy for people within our community to have different opinions about different projects. That being said, I want to put an important caveat there. I'm very anti-rug pull. I'm very anti-scams and dubious behavior and anything like that. But in terms of things like, Apecoin or other things that you may be into, like Luna, or you like to kind of risk it more on the red light district coins, that's your prerogative. Just as long as you're an educated investor and know what you're getting yourself into, I think that's what's most important. Harris says, I only got 10 Apecoins. But Apecoin's kind of going ape what right now. So we'll keep one eye on that as well. Trucking All Day says, Ape did a Breaking Bad prison move, attacked all exchanges at the same time. Yeah, and that's a good point, and that's probably the main reason for its ascendance. Carlos disagrees, says, Apecoin will go down soon, my friend. Well, I never said that Apecoin was going to keep ascending. I want to be very clear about that. And it very well could go down soon. I'm more talking about the long-term, the sustainability of Apecoin. Like I said, from where I see it, I think Apecoin's got a 50% chance of going the distance, from where I see it right now, for the aforementioned reasons. Now, Dogecoin keeps hitting up at this wall of 13.6 cents. Can we break on through to the other side? As a quintessential 60s rock band once said, remains to be seen, but we're hoping for the best. Right now, we've got the red weenies. And not many people like staring at red weenies. Most people like looking at green weenies. And if you're an investor, you like looking at the big, fat, long green weenies, don't let your mind go to those places, folks. You know what I'm talking about, but the buys and sells are going wild right now. Unfortunately, we got more sells than buys. But hopefully that turns around sooner than later. Carlos says, Cardano is my second choice. I don't own any ADA. I know Nick Balls owns a fair amount of it. And I know people have been kind of making fun of the ADA because it's been stagnant for so long. But until very recently. I never laugh at projects that you think are down and out and people start making fun of those projects, because in this space, you never know. You never know when it's going to get legs and pick up again. And that's what makes all this so fascinating and fun, isn't it? Guys, if you're new here, you're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm your host, Steven Steele. It's great to have you with us. We have an awesome, eccentric, exciting community here. I want you to be a part of it. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and ascend with us to the moon, Mars, and beyond. In fact, if it's your first time watching tonight, I want you to put a number 1 in the chat. If it's your first time watching tonight, I want you to put a number 1 in the chat and give you a special welcome. Slim says, no weenies, no weenies. Nathaniel says, well, remember when Bitcoin came out, not many took it seriously, and look at it now. Think about that, hashtag Doge. Yeah, I mean, always a great example. I mean, and I think it is, some might say that's a hyperbolic analogy, but I really don't think it is as it relates to Dogecoin, particularly since it's been around since 2013. It's really kind of stood the test of time and has really remained firm right around in that top 12 and was showing no signs of it going anywhere out of there. So Harris Jod, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight. First time watcher. And a couple of you guys totally lying. Jeremy Rock Lobster, Alan Schneider, it's not your first time, but welcome anyway. Pamela, welcome to Steven Steele Live. It's great to have you with us. Trucking All Day says, any hopes on Metacoin? Oh, I'm not sure, my friend. I don't know. Now, when there was... we talked about that, the members only. That was one of the first members only picks, and it really did well for a bit there. I took a little bit of profits, but I held most of it. And then I started seeing that the development team really wasn't living up to their deadlines. And it's a good learning example. Now, I'm not saying that Meta can't make a storming comeback, because they very well could, particularly in this DeFi, video game space. But something that I've learned, the significance, the gravity of more that I maybe didn't give enough gravity to up until the last 6 months, is if you start seeing the dev team not live up to its roadmap or its promises on a defined timeline, and things are taking way longer than previously promised or stated, you want to keep a real close eye on it, and you probably want to start pulling profits at that time. Because I believe that is a direct reflection on how the rest of the operation is going to go. And that is something, that is a lesson that I've learned more, the gravity of it, rather, over the last 6-7 months. Rock Lobster, yo, I will renew membership when my new debit card arrives. Lost it again. Dude, you are singing to the choir. I lose so many debit cards. And half the time when I lose these debit cards, Rock Lobster, I find them like 2 weeks later after I get my new one in the mail. And so now I've got like all these debit card numbers in my Amazon account, in my, Netflix account. And it's like, which course of payment would you like to go with? I'm like, none of the 12 debit card numbers that are up there, because they're all inactive except for one. So you're singing to the choir, my friend. Certainly something that I can empathize with. Now I'm a Fool, favorite EODM song. What's EODM stand for? Oh, Eagles of Death Metal. Duh. I'm sorry. It took me a second. How could I space that? Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Rock Lobster is, I think he's cool. I think he's cool with me saying it, but his name is Jesse, and many people know him as Jesse from a seminal rock and roll band, Eagles of Death Metal. So, Jesse, we love having him here. Will Shiba be higher priced than Doge? Harris asks. I don't think so over the long term, although I gotta say, Shiba has outperformed most people's expectations. You gotta hand it to him there. A lot of millionaires and even billionaires were made off of SHIB. I obviously wish I was one of them. I've never been a big fan of how the project was conceived, and I did make a miscalculation and misjudgment. I thought, wow, this kind of like Doge mascot knockoff that's kind of dissing Doge in a way. It dubbed itself the Dogecoin killer. I'm like, I don't see this going the distance. I don't see this being incredibly successful, and boy, was I wrong in that regard. That aside, Can SHIB go the distance? I don't know. I don't know. Can SHIB pass the market cap level of Dogecoin again? Yeah, I think it can. I wouldn't be surprised to see SHIB and Doge do that dance back and forth, jockeying for higher position in market cap. I certainly think we're probably in for a few more of those coming up. I had to rename it EODM to get it in commercials, etc., to make it more license friendly. Yeah, I get it. The full name freaked them out. That cover was a blast, dude. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I can see how the full name. Yeah, I guess you gotta tame it down for your licensing reps. Oh yeah, I had a few interesting. Of course, I was totally small time, Jesse. I was fortunate enough to make a living off of my music for a while, though I was living like a pleb. But I was making just enough to get by off of my music and stuff, and we got some really funny licensing deals. I remember getting one. I remember getting one song on this horrible reality TV show back in the day called Shipmates, where they would pair two random man and woman, on a ship cruise for like 2 weeks, and see how the chemistry flies. And it was incredibly obnoxious. But it was really hilarious to see my music in the background or something like that. But I think the most notable licensing deal that I got on my previous band was, I don't know if anyone remembers the show Ugly Betty. I actually kind of like that show. Ugly Betty, I think on the last season of Ugly Betty, we had a song in there as well. Do you think Doge will ever get back into the top 5 market cap again? Nate Doge, I do. I do think eventually Dogecoin will more than likely get in the number 4, number 3 positioning. But it may take a while. It may take longer than previously anticipated. But I think it's going to get there. And I think it's important that we keep fostering good vibes and a strong community. Have a strong big tent community, because folks, you got to have a big tent to get in those top 5 market cap. Keith Havens, those Norwegian death metal bands would always ask me about your shirt. Oh, wow. Norwegian death metal, there's been some documentaries just on those kinds of scenes. That is a trip. Those folks are a trip, man. They take their metal very seriously. Truckin' All Day coming in with $20 make you holler. I love it. Thank you so much, Truckin' All Day. Appreciate it. Thanks for helping to keep the lights on over here at Steele HQ with a super sticker. It's kind of like a hippopotamus transformer with the claw reaching up. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, Truckin' All Day. Thank you for your continued support, man. I really appreciate it. I know Truckin' All Day. Truckin' All Day, who did you first start tuning into? Lucy? Living with Lucy or me? Which one was it? I forget. I know there's a lot of crossover, particularly between crypto. The biggest crossover of audiences is Crypto Batman and Living with Lucy. I swear to God, every time I tune into one of their streams, I see at least half y'all in there. Think Doge would spike with the moon launch. Think Doge would spike when the moon launch dawns. Oh, I think you're asking about the Doge 1 mission. Now, I had and I jumped the gun a little bit. I saw a source online that said that the Doge 1 mission was rescheduled to June 1st of this year. And then people were telling me that were conflicting reports on that, and that's the source that I had sourced on Twitter might not be the most reliable. So I had to update that. So we do not know. The fact is, we do not know when the Doge 1 mission is going to launch. We don't have a launch date yet. But what I can tell you with certainty is that it is still happening. It is still a go. The Geometric Energy Corporation is still engaged in planning it. It's still, when you go to the Geometric Energy Corporation's website, it is still on the schedule with a launch date to be announced. But do I think that this could have a significant effect on the market value of Dogecoin? I don't know. I would think it would, right? Because if this thing is actually going to the moon, that's going to draw massive garnish massive, massive media attention worldwide. Yeah, I think it would have, I do think it's going to have incredibly bullish effects overall on the value of Dogecoin. The thing is, a lot of times when we see big event days like that happen, we don't necessarily see a huge parabolic rise happen right away off it. Sometimes it takes a bit for that to permeate the psyches of the public, and then they start buying, and then we start seeing just kind of a critical mass of accumulation due to events like this that lead to an absolute parabolic breakout. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Dogecoin ascended to the likes of $3 or $4 within the next 5 years. I think that's very much on the table, folks. Very much on the table. Charcoal Day says, you first from King Vlad. Oh yeah, the very first channel I was on. Wow, that's right. I remember that. You're right. I remember you telling me that once before. So yeah, you go way back. You go way back with me. That is awesome. That is awesome. Johnny Crypto, nice steady incline these days with crypto. Hopefully it continues this climb. Good luck to all crypto holders out there. Thank you, Johnny Crypto. Appreciate it so much. And that reminds me, why don't we do well, first, why don't we take a look at what the Doge is doing? Let me refresh this chart to make sure we're getting the latest results here, because sometimes the streaming program that I use can use a little refreshment. Use a little refreshment now and then. So let me go to the Binance chart. Sorry, folks. I got like so many tabs open. It's like ridiculous. And yeah, we're still holding right at 13.6. I was hoping to refresh it and see 14 cents, but that's just not in the cards yet. Right now, Bitcoin is trading, looking bullish. Bitcoin now up a little bit more since we last checked in. Headed towards 43,000. Ethereum now trading just barely over 3,000. Lunaterra, one that I'm very bullish on for many reasons. In fact, I'm going to have a spotlight on Lunaterra. I'd like to get a pretty good rep from Lunaterra on here to talk about the tech and utility. I think it's really fascinating stuff. I'm very bullish on Lunaterra. Right now trading at about 95 bucks, up about 2% for the day, 7% for the week. AVAX finally coming up about 11% for the week and about 2% for the day. Trading exactly sideways at the moment. Of course, Apecoin right now, actually in retracement right now at about a percentage and a half over the last hour, but still up over a whopping 16% for the day. So we might start seeing the correction levels start settling now with Apecoin, but we'll keep a close eye on it. It'll be interesting to see where that goes from there. VGX, which has been performing kind of abysmally compared to what expectations were. I pulled out a lot of my VGX positions and reallocated a while ago, but right now they are trading sideways all day, but they're up about 11% for the week. I think Remy's coughing up something over there right now. Sheeb right now, trading pretty much sideways, but up 6% for the day. So Sheeb having a pretty bullish day as well. And Polkadot right now trading about 4% up for the day at about $21. Now, it seems like the whole market right now is starting to settle a little bit, starting to retrace just a little bit. Now, of course, what we want to know is this going to be accumulation before it bounces up again? Or are we going to see it drop even more significantly than this and reach settle in at new floors? That remains to be seen. But if you ask me right now which direction I think it's going to go in, I would probably hedge my bets on things retracing a bit more throughout the night with pretty good potential for things to ascend a bit further, a bit higher tomorrow. And little co-hostess needs attention here, wagging her tail, shaking up the scene, shaking up the camera. Come here, Remy. Up here. Sit. Good girl. Be a good co-host. Be a good co-host. She's such a needy girl. Every time, almost every time I go live, she's got to do this. She gets really jealous. Remy. There we go. There we go. She's finally been preoccupied there, so we can continue the show. Okay, let's get back to the chat. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Let's mix it up, folks. Let's mix it up. Ethereum is my main bag. Hope you are well, Steven. Hey, that's a great main bag to have. I'm extremely bullish on the long-term future of Ethereum. I'm of the position that there's going to be enough room in the market for both Ethereum and its most... can you please quiet the dog down? Remy's just roughhousing, rough playing here. So I'm of the mindset that both Ethereum and its most viable contenders, alternatives, mean Solana, AVAX, Lunaterra, I think are all going to thrive individually. I think there's plenty of room in the market for all of them to really do well. And I do think that Ethereum is going to overwhelmingly be the go-to in that space and dominate DeFi for sure. In fact, I actually think that we are going to see eventually a flippening wherein Ethereum is going to outpace by market cap Bitcoin. I'm not saying it's going to happen long term, but I think we are going to start seeing within the next 2 years. I really believe this. I believe in the next 24 months that we are going to see moments in the market wherein the market cap value of Ethereum supersedes, at least for a few days at a time, Bitcoin. Take over that number one spot. The flipping as some call it. SDL says talking up. Yeah, she's very rambunctious tonight. And welcome SDL. Welcome to the stream. Mama Crypto as well. Nathaniel says kind of makes you think if Elon ever tweets something about Doge on Twitter to, for a while when Elon first started tweeting about Doge, it had a more dramatic impact because it was new, right? And like all things, the novelty kind of wears off, right? So once that novelty kind of wore off, Elon tweeting and just mentioning Dogecoin didn't really boost it up very significantly for very long, although we always appreciate when Elon does mention Dogecoin. But there is one exception, one major caveat to that rule, is when Elon announces full integration of Dogecoin as it relates to Tesla. Now, I believe when that happens, we are going to see the ascendance of, likely, an ascendance of Dogecoin that to the likes of perhaps we've never seen before. So we'll see how that shakes out. But that could really be a major catalyst. Rock Lobster says, I met Bill Burr, and that dude is funny. He is hilarious. I like Bill Burr a lot. He's got a pretty good podcast, too. Rodrigo says, how's Doge X going? So for those who aren't familiar, Doge X is kind of a Doge dog-themed, animated NFT project that was launched last year, maybe about 9 months ago now. How's it doing? It's in total reshuffling. It's kind of in chaos right now, to be honest, because the whole project's been handed over to the community, which I think is for the best. Look, I guess I can speak about this a bit more freely now, but it seemed to me that the original development team of Doge X, I think that things started super strong, but in terms of the roadmap, things didn't really happen as efficiently and as thoroughly as, in my opinion, that they should have happened. And I think those were critical windows for building momentum on the project back then. And it really kind of frustrated me because here I was partnered with Doge X, but there's only so much I can do as a content creator, and I don't make any of those decisions over there. So, and I think the community is awesome. I think the artwork is awesome. And I think there's a ton of great positive passion in that community. I also think that now that the project is being handed over to the community, I think it's more of an exciting live wire. There's a rejuvenation. There's kind of a giddy uncertainty there that I think is really exciting. And And so the project's really kind of been finding itself more, kind of got a lightning in a jar feeling for me right now. So, and I know that the community are making some new good important decisions for the future of the project. Even though my agreement with DogeX had expired long ago, I am still totally there for the community because, frankly, I think the investors, they deserved better than what they got. Okay, they deserve better than what they got, and so I'm going to do within the capacity of my small sliver of the internet to try to help the project succeed. And I still do think it has a lot of potential. Thank you for the question, Rodrigo. Doge to 20 cents real soon. Yes, Beef Supreme. I think it could happen sooner than later. Doge to 20 cents by within 4 weeks' time. Sure, I'd leave that on the table. It wouldn't surprise me at all. Folks, we could see the whole crypto market go really wild style very quickly here. Very quickly, now that we're headed into spring and, things are moving and grooving and the sun's coming out and the birds are going tweet, tweet. And the crypto market could really get some legs here. And it usually does around this time of year. So we'll see. Yeah, if you guys got any more questions for me, feel free to shoot them in the chat. I usually have a more structured show, but tonight we're just kind of doing a fun market watch hangout. So feel free to, just put questions or comments in the chat, and I'll do my best to address them. B Supreme says the whole market is about to go bonkers. Let's load up. I always love that word, bonkers. It's a fun one. Bonkers. There's certain words I never get tired of saying, and bonkers is definitely on that list. Let's see what else I got in my notes here, folks. Oh, huge news, and I almost overlooked it here. As it relates to Dogecoin, by the way. Popular BTM operator, Bitcoin of America, adds Dogecoin to their Bitcoin ATM. So, those who aren't familiar, Bitcoin of America is the most popular cryptocurrency ATM company, manufacturer in the United States, and they have just announced that they have added Dogecoin to their offerings on their ATMs, which are all over the place. Bitcoin of America, popular virtual currency exchange, registered as a money services business with the United States Department of Treasury and Finance, apart from ensuring a fast hustle, blah, blah, blah. It's just telling us how they work. Most of us know how this stuff works. But the point is they have almost 2,000 of these machines spanned over 31 states. And I had this talk with Phil Hall of Benzinga in my last interview with him when I was on his podcast. He's like, are these ATMs that are these cryptocurrency ATMs that we're seeing pop up in all of these gas stations, are people really using them, or is this just more kind of decoration, And I have to say, because there are some around in my where I live, I've been seeing them pop up in gas stations, and people are using them. From what I can tell, people are mostly using them to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a few other offerings with just small portions of their check. They're buying $50. They're buying $100 here and there, and that's for the most part how I've been seeing them utilized. And I find that really encouraging. I think it's pretty cool. Bonkers was a great cartoon. Haven't seen it, but I will make a note of it. I don't blame you. Iggy is such a legend. Are you talking about Iggy Pop? You wouldn't let me into Iggy Pop show and never. Oh, I love Iggy Pop. I even love the Iggy Pop, like, really poppy stuff with, like, what's that duet he did with Kate from the B-52s? Candy. Candy, 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 I can't let you go. Yeah, I love that song, too. I love all Iggy Pop stuff, from the Stooges all the way to the end. Anyway, guys, since we've been live, we've been stuck trading almost and completely sideways between 13.5 and 13.7. That's pretty much what the whole market's been doing for the last hour or so. Could we see another breakout tonight? Still probable, but I think more unlikely. we'll probably see more retracement happen throughout the rest of the night and accumulation, and then a possible run up and more excitement tomorrow. I think more excitement tomorrow is definitely a possibility. Steven, Ant options on Doge, Elon Mars, crypto. Any options on Doge, Elon Mars? I own some Doge, Elon Mars. I think I just bought like a couple $100 worth, and my entry level wasn't very advantageous, and I kind of lost patience with it and cashed it out and reallocated it. So that's just my experience with Doge, Elon Mars. I know they have a lot of holders, and there are a lot of people that are very fond of the project, and I don't really have anything more to add than that right now, honestly. Xavier says, first time out in the shadows to say hi, but I've been watching a few times before I got to say that you host awesome live shows and that all of you community look so awesome, amazing. Xavier Arrow, big round of applause to you. And welcome from coming out from the shadows of Lurksville to make that comment. And welcome to our community. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. And we welcome you to our community. You're one of us now. I am a passenger, and I ride. Yes, great song. Things are dropping down now. Yeah, pretty much, Harris. They're dropping down across the board. We are seeing retracements across the board, but hopefully it won't be that significant. I don't think that it will, but we will find out very soon. Well, folks, I've been going for about an hour and 15 minutes here. That's about all I have for tonight. But I want to thank each and every one of you guys for showing up and showing out. If you don't already follow me on Twitter, that is pinned at the top of the chat. Feel free to follow me there. I love staying connected with my community there. And I'm very, very active on Twitter, as those who already follow me know. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And let's keep the positivity strong. Let's keep the Doge momentum going strong. And I wish you all the very best in your investments and in life. Until next time, this is your man, Real Deal Steven Steele, signing out. See you guys.